So another tech gift guide episode. This one also includes a giveaway. You can see who I've partnered up with. So Snapdragon, in case you haven't seen them, they're the main sponsor for Manchester United. You might have seen them on F1, the Mercedes cars. They're a chipset company that powers your favorite tech devices, many that you've used probably day to day. The first product that we're showcasing as a cool tech gift, these are the latest ones that I've got. Really stoked to try these out. So these are the new Oakley Meta Vanguard sunglasses. Check out how cool these things look. These are futuristic, so obviously they've partnered up with Oakley here. These are their iconic Vanguard sunglasses, but if you take a closer look right there, right in the middle, there's actually a camera right inside. So you may have seen some of the original ones when Meta partnered with, say, Ray-Ban or even the first gen Oakleys, but the Vanguards are specific. Obviously, these things are meant for running, for sports, if you're cycling. They are pretty intense. They come in a ton of different colorways, but the little camera here essentially allows you to record completely hands-free. So how these essentially work, there's a couple different buttons on the side. So the first one is the capture button. So if you just click that, I've actually just snapped a photo, and if you hold that down, it now starts recording in 3K. You can see the little indicator light to let other people know that you're recording, just for privacy. You're not kind of recording without someone else knowing. So this is now fully recording in 3K. That is now paired to my phone, for example. I can take that footage later, upload it to social. If you're doing really cool things, obviously, like I'm just in the studio right now. I'm not doing anything crazy like biking, like running a marathon. You can capture some really cool POVs, maybe, you know, great when you're driving, when you want hands-free footage. There's also a customizable action button. There's speakers built in so you can listen to music while you are working out or doing your activity. They have a touchpad on the side to increase or decrease your volume. They are powered by Meta AI, so you can technically be looking at something, you know, say like this gift. Hey Meta, what am I looking at? Okay, so you couldn't hear that, but it essentially said, that's actually wild. It said that you are looking at a red gift box in a photography setup. So it can tell that I've got like a big light. It's set up for photography, so that is pretty cool. Pretty rad gift. This is like one of the cool wearables that I think that actually work. A lot of people grab Vanguards on their own, and now if you are like a real techie, you can get some of that tech, that camera, Meta kind of built in. And all that in turn is powered by the Snapdragon AR1 chip. So really cool as the first tech gift idea. And actually my most asked question, these do not have any like augmented reality in them. There's no screen. It's just a pair of sunglasses. But as an example, Snapdragon also powers the Meta Quest 3, which is like a dedicated MR VR headset. That's obviously more money, but will give you that full experience. So next off, I mentioned smartphones. As an example, I've got the Vanguards paired to the Nothing Phone 3. Quick little sample photo of what I got. So that's like the set, what you guys don't typically see. So that's kind of cool. So both of these devices are powered by Snapdragon chipsets. We've got a more budget-friendly or affordable one. So this is the Nothing Phone 3. This is rocking the 8S Gen 4. And if you haven't seen a Nothing Phone before, really cool device. They're really known for their glyph system. So on this one, they have a cool little glyph on the back corner that you can actually change. Showcases things like battery life as an example, the time, or these cool glyphs like this one, which is a spin the bottle. So if you're playing that game, if you want someone to pay your next meal, you're in a group of bunch of friends, whoever is facing that way is now stuck paying the bill. Really cool phone, nice and clean. But if you want the latest and greatest, so this is the brand new OnePlus 15. So this features their new flagship chip. It's the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, which we'll probably see for the next year across most flagship phones. So this is in their new Sandstorm color. It's a new ceramic coating on top of the OnePlus phone, gives it a very like cool to touch feeling. This has a triple 50 megapixel camera system, a massive 7,300 milliamp hour battery, which is also the next gen silicon carbon. It's got a 1.5K 165 hertz display. It literally has every next gen feature that you want. Incredible performance, probably like flagship tier. One of the best devices that have already launched for, I wouldn't even say this year, but into next year, you will see phones that compete with this. So two great options, once again, both running Snapdragon chips on it, one more budget friendly and one obviously premium. Okay, next off for gifting laptops, I think these will be pretty popular this year. So two different options, once again, in different price categories. So as an example, the first, this is the Microsoft Surface Laptop 7. This features the Snapdragon X Plus. I'd honestly say the biggest benefit for Snapdragon laptops is their battery life. You're getting over that 20+ hour mark. Obviously that depends like what you're doing, but regular day-to-day stuff, browsing the net, watching a couple videos, using it to manage like your life, you can easily last all day and never have to worry about plugging this in until it's nighttime. The support for Snapdragon architecture has also improved over time, and with the X Plus, I would market that to like most people out there, like 90-ish% of users. But if you want the extra power, if you're a creator, if you're a pro, this one, for example, is the Honor Magicbook Art 14. This features the Snapdragon X Elite. So if you are, say, video editing, if you're doing something a bit more compute heavy, if you're doing more AI stuff, this has more NPU power. But the coolest thing of this laptop, I think, this cool little feature, this little camera actually swivels. You can place it on the top, and when you're not using it, because technically this has a really thin bezel, this slides back into the side of the laptop, because most of the time you're not using it, it just stays hidden and safe on the side. So next off, moving on to some wearables. So this is the new Pixel Watch 4. I've got it in the two different sizes, so the 41 mil as well as the 45. I've been a fan of the smaller watch face personally. So once again, if you are into running, if you just want to count your steps, your sleep score, and since Google technically owns Fitbit, it uses all those metrics to help track that. What I like about Pixel watches, say compared to like an Apple Watch, this looks like a traditional watch, like it's circular. I'm a big fan of like traditional watches, or at least that look. It's a bit more subtle and elegant, and just like my OG watch, I like to wear a rubber strap on mine. It just helps wick water and sweat away, so obviously when you use this to work out, you never need to worry about that band. This one is powered by the Snapdragon W5 Gen 2. Everything is nice and smooth, it's intuitive, and I think it's a great smartwatch, especially for the price. So next off, moving on to headphones, earbuds. Once again, I think great gift ideas. So the first pair, these need no introduction. These are the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra headphones. I've used these honestly for years, even as they've like upgraded them. So the main benefits of these are how good the active noise canceling is, probably some of the best in the industry, and how Snapdragon kind of integrates into these is Snapdragon Sound. Essentially, that's a codec to provide the best audio experience. So that is lossless and high-res music. So if you're like a true audiophile and want to experience the best kind of sound quality, these are obviously a great option to go for. These earbuds though, on the other hand, so these ones are by Xiaomi. These are the Buds 5 Pro, and these are actually the first earbuds that feature the Snapdragon S7 chip. They also have Snapdragon Sound as well as Qualcomm's aptX lossless audio, so really good performance for a pair of earbuds. They're nice and comfy. They follow that traditional earbud shape with the stem, and they kind of match some of the silver for the video, so I thought it was a great integration and also great tech gift idea. So that is pretty much a cool tech gift list idea, all of course powered by Snapdragon stuff. So remember, you can win one of the items. Just make sure you actually go on to say like IG, a verified account, so I can easily like hook you up with like shipping info. It's just a lot easier to manage the spam here on YouTube. And if you actually think about it, like Snapdragon is behind a lot of things that you actually don't know. For example, like Wi-Fi 7, a lot of that is kind of in every single device. Even say like Snapdragon in cars, like the new Mercedes ones, they've got the Snapdragon cockpit. As cars become more techy, more smart, or even like I said, something as simple as a Manchester United jersey. You might see it and watch the Prem every single weekend and wonder, who the heck is that sponsor, or what do they actually make? Now you know, and you can technically gift a Manchester United jersey to anyone that may like the team. You know that I'm a big fan. I support them through all the heartaches, through all the hardships, and yeah, we are getting better every single year, keeping my fingers crossed. So hope you guys enjoyed the gift guide episode. Wishing you all the best over the holidays. Thanks again for all the support. It means the world to me as we approach that 1 million mark. Hopefully we can hit that next year, and I will catch the rest of you in one of my next ones. Peace.